Welcome to episode 1 of 2023, and I want to talk to you about the 10 books that helped me to shift my life. And I want to share this information with you because I can tell you this right now: you can make the decision today to change your life, and by simply making the decision and then not looking back, continuing to move forward, success is inevitable over time. And I'm going to be sharing with you all my nuggets in 2023 with regards to what I've learned, what were some of the profound breakthroughs that have helped me to level up and change my behavior, what were some of the aha moments when I realized what it was that was holding me back, but also what is some of the information that had helped me to shift, even by 1 degree, and then had this incredible ripple effect in my life. Today is all about sharing with you the 10 books that have absolutely shifted my life forever. And I'm going to share this with you because I can tell you this right now: leaders are readers. By you learning, by reading through other people's experiences and knowledge, not only are you fast tracking, it's one of the cheapest ways actually of personal development and learning from other people, but also you are taking on the energy of the author, which is something that if you want to aspire to become that person, then you definitely need to look at reading people's books, especially biographies and memoirs of people who have achieved the success that you want. So let me start off with the one that really shifted me in 2022, because this is what my group accountability and mastermind is based on, which is consistency and compounding. And I help women over 40 to build businesses with my 3-step system. And I really didn't understand what it was about my system or how I generated the results until I read this book. And this book is The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. And I can tell you, I've read this so many times, and every time I get more aha moments. If you want to know how to genuinely create success over time and why consistency is one of the secret ingredients of success, you have to read this book. This book not only teaches you about the importance of consistency, but it tells you and demonstrates through examples of stories, etc., of how by simply applying certain activities every single day, not only will your activities stack up over time, but you start embodying those behaviors of that next level version to help you achieve the results that you want. I highly recommend this book, especially if you want to achieve long-term success and create something completely different from where you are right now. You need to compound your efforts. And this book is a great starting point to help you understand why consistency is important in your life. The other book, this book started it all for me. Basically, I didn't understand the importance of personal development until I actually started reading and understanding and embodying behaviors of people that I admire. And one person that I've admired for a very, very long time is Tony Robbins. And he's been such an incredible mentor for me over an extended period of time. And I can say this over 20 years because when I actually picked up this from my bookcase, Awake the Giant Within, I looked at the date that I first started reading this book, and it was the 10th of August, 2000, right? And so for over 20 years, minimum, I've been following Tony. And this book, I remember when I was first reading this book, my manager at the time, I was working in corporate at the time, he laughed that I actually was reading this book. He thought it was ridiculous. I look back at that now, I thought, wow, I definitely was not made for the corporate sector. But I can tell you, this book helped me to understand back then what were some of the attributes that I needed to change. And even though they were aha moments, I didn't quite understand then how profound some of the lessons are about developing mastery in all areas of your life to have a radically different life, about raising your standards. So then that way, you have to literally level up on a personal level, evaluate your value system, really look at your belief system, because if you don't have belief in yourself, you have zero chance of having other people believe in you as well. There are some extremely important principles in this book that back then I didn't appreciate, but looking back on it now, I just think, wow, And look, and the thing is, like, it's amazing how I would underline and take, asterisk things that really hit home. I look at this where it says, for example, I learned to harness the principle I now call concentration of power. One reason so few of us achieve what we truly want is that we never direct our focus, we never concentrate our power. And that is so true. People don't get lasered in on the very things that they need to do and believe that there are other things that will help them, fast track their efforts or get them to where they want to go. But simply by focusing in and lasering in on the simple systems that you need to do over time, you will generate long-term success than switching from thing to thing. The other book that profoundly changed my 2022 in terms of really understanding why I was able to generate long-term success with my system is Atomic Habits by James Clear. This book is the Bible of all things in terms of behaviors and embodying the behaviors that you need to embody over time. Atomic Habits really helps you to understand why it's through your habits that you achieve your success. And you only achieve them when you start building consistency with the activities and you start becoming that person, right? And so for me, this book has just been such a game changer in all areas of my life, not just in business, in my personal system, into my morning routine, my evening routine, my nutritional system, all of the things that are important areas of my life, even faith, by literally developing habits from activities that I've done over time, I've just become this brand new person. And so my advice to you is that, especially if you want to achieve long-term success, these two are the first two books that you read in 2023, because they'll help you to understand the very things that you need to do from the very beginning to start building in systems that are long-term and that help you to achieve success over a long period of time. Another book that really helped me to understand how taking massive action, not just taking massive action for the sake of taking massive action because everyone else is, but if you want to fast track and shorten the time frame in terms of the goals that you want to achieve, this is the book that helped me to understand how taking 10x action helps you to achieve 10x results. And I've been in coaching programs with Grant Cardone, and I can tell you this right now, I would not be where I am today if it wasn't from the knowledge, the experience, and the energy that Grant embodies and delivers. He just over-delivers in value. For me, this is such an important book if you want to build long-term success, because sometimes what we need to do, and this is something that I did at the start of last year, I sat on a 6-week course with him where he taught how to achieve $1 million in 90 days, and how taking radical, massive action shortens the time frame of all your results. And this helps you to understand why that is the case, because a lot of people just think, hey, you know what, I'll do it over 20 years. But we don't have 20 years. We don't know that we have 20 years. What if you could achieve a 20-year result in 5 years? Wouldn't that be better for you? And you'll learn so many lessons about yourself, your life, and who you are, by 10xing your activities now versus waiting to see what if. And so it's an excellent book. And if you really want to have an incredible year in 2023, this is the year to do this kind of work, right? So that's an excellent book. Another book that really helped me to understand visualization, putting concepts that were in my mind onto a board that I could really relate to and connect to. And until I read this book, I really didn't have any form of success with my vision boards that I could really, generate over and over and over and over again. But this book, Future Boards by Sarah Centrella, absolutely nails it. Really helps you to understand how to really dig deep and help you to understand the things that you have in your mind, to put them into to articulate it into photos and words and feelings, and that you can put onto a board, and then really like fall in love with your board, really, connect with your board. So then that way you not only, get excited about the things that you're creating, but also you're fast tracking the process, because the more that you can feel into the things that you want to achieve, the greater the chance that you're going to manifest it. And this book is excellent in terms of the activities that she puts in there, etc. And side note, I'm not getting any form of kickback for recommending these books. I'm literally sharing with you the books that have changed my life. And one that definitely has changed my life is The 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. And this book really talks about how morning, beating the sun, getting up before the sun, literally getting up before everyone else, is one of the best ways to tap into your ultimate self. The one where you can tap into fresh energy, fresh mind, how you can capitalize on being your best self, and also visualize and meditate and set yourself up for peak performance throughout the day. Now, not all of us are morning larks. Some of us are night owls, and that's okay. But for me, I never really understood before this book who I was and what was the best time for me to produce the best work. This book helped me to understand that. And so if you really want to understand peak performance and how to get the best out of yourself, that is definitely one. Now, this is the Bible of all Bibles. I mean, the Bible is another one. I haven't got it with me, but the Bible is another one that has totally changed my life. And if you really want to understand how what we're really destined to do and how certain things happen the way they happen for you, definitely read the Bible as well. So there's a bonus one. But this is one that will really help you to understand how to actually transform your life, how to transfer your energy, transform your energy, transform your thoughts, transform your mind, really focus on the things that you need to focus on, and how to really operate at a very, very high level, not only for self, but also the people that you connect with, the information that you tap into every day. This is the book that will help, that will radically change your life if you allow it. Now, side note, it took me really between 5, maybe 6 or 7 reads before I really understood the concepts. And, I've read it 10 times now, and every single time I get a different message altogether. But the most key thing is that you embody the 12 principles that are in there. So that way, if you live and breathe those principles, you will understand what it takes to build long-term success. The Big Leap by Guy Hendricks is one that really helped me to understand breaking through limiting beliefs and how you can start looking at different ways of thinking, right? And why certain things kept happening, and that it wasn't other people that were the problem. It was you. And so this is what really helped me to understand. And there were other coaches and mentors that really helped fast track that up, because this gave me the basic foundation. And then once I got into certain masterminds, it sort of accelerated because I really got it after that. So if you're suffering from situations over and over again, or if you're constantly self-sabotaging, for example, etc., this book is absolutely important for you to break through limiting beliefs and start reframing situations, circumstances, people, so then that way you can live a more healthier, happier, and peaceful life, right? Mindset is another one. You can see like it's my coffee stain there. I thought I'd keep it in there rather than wipe it for the video, so you can understand that I am legit. I do read my books, right? So Mindset by Carol Dweck, Dr. Carol Dweck. Is an excellent book. It was from a mentor last year that recommended it, and I absolutely loved it. Helps you to really understand the concept of growth versus fixed mindset, and why having a growth mindset, you could say you have a growth mindset, but you might be particularly fixed in other areas, which is why you haven't fully expanded into the ultimate potential version that you have. And so sometimes you might think, hey, look, I have a growth mindset. I do personal development and all of this sort of stuff. And in business, you'd be all growth and implementation. But what if you have fixed values or fixed mindset? in your personal relationships with your children, with yourself, where you're not open, and that totally limits your potential. And so Carol not only explains the two and how they could possibly affect all areas of your life, having a fixed mindset and why you need to open yourself up to grow and expand, but why certain things are not happening in your life. And some of the strategies that she recommends are truly game-changing. And the last book that I want to talk to you about is one that I absolutely love. And like, seriously, if you radically want to change your life in 2023 and beyond, this is the book that's going to do this for you. I cannot recommend this book enough. It's called The Power of One More from Ed Mylett. I've been following Ed for at least 4 or 5 years now, and I'm seeing him transform and evolve into this incredible peak performance coach, speaker, and you know, host of an incredible podcast as well. And I just want to say to you, this book and the principles and activities that it recommends for you to implement will radically change your life if you allow it. This book has the principles of just doing one more every single day, and how that could not only, compound over time, obviously through consistency and application, but how we limit ourselves by simply setting a goal or setting a standard, thinking that that is our fullest potential. But what if we could do one more? What if we could do one more day? What if we could do ask one more question? What if we can have one more conversation? Imagine the ripple effect if we applied that principle every single day, and how that totally expands and stretches our capability more than the limits that we set ourselves. It's such a life-changing book, and I highly recommend it. My husband's reading it right now, and he's just absolutely loving it. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Know that reading not only helps you to expand your knowledge, which is fantastic if you just read, but what if you actually went that extra step and you implemented all of the principles from every single book? Imagine not only the learning, but the steps and the learnings that you'll get from actually taking the steps for yourself, not from the reader's point of view, but your own personal experience. That is where the key learning is. And if you continue doing that over time, your efforts will compound. And if you keep implementing all the knowledge, then you're just going to have a radically different life by the start of 2024. So I hope you found value in this. I look forward to sharing more knowledge with you, and I'll see you soon. Take care.
The Consistency Queen, brought to you by the Queenie Effect and the Tech Company. For coaching options, please visit elsamorgan.com.